Hi and Assalamualaikum everyone. So today we are going to learn about the management of current asset. So we all know what is current asset, right? Current asset is cash or other assets that are expected to be converted to cash within 1 year. So in this topic, we are going to focus on the management of current asset. This is include the management of inventory, the management of account receivable, and the management of cash and marketable securities. So what is actually inventory management? Inventory management is important because it involves a lot of capital investment, such as storage costs, insurance costs, pilferage costs, and costs that the inventories may become out of date. The size of the investment is in inventory depends on the type of business the company is in. To make it short, inventory management refers to the process of ordering, storing, and using a company's inventory. This process includes the management of raw materials, components, and finished product, as well as warehousing and processing such items.
Okay, so moving on is the purpose of carrying inventory. Okay, so the purpose of carrying inventory is to uncouple the operation of the firm. That is, to make each function of the business independent of each other functions, so that delays or shutdown in one area do not affect production and sale of the final product. Okay, so to cut it short, it's actually to make sure the business product is available at the right time and fulfills the customer need without delaying. For example, it's like the business could actually gain trust by the customer by carrying the inventories so that it can avoid stock out of their products.
Okay, now I'm going to explain about types of inventories. We have 3 types of inventories, which are raw materials, work in progress, and also finished goods. But I'm going to explain for raw materials and work in progress. Okay, so for raw materials, it consists of basic materials purchased from other firm to be used in the firm's production, such as we have oil, wood, iron, okay, to be used in the production process. Okay, its purpose is to uncouple the production function from the purchasing function. Okay, this is to make sure that these two functions, which are production function and purchasing function, independent from each other, so that any delays in the shipment of raw material will not cause any production delays. Okay, second is work in progress. Work in progress consists of partially finished goods. Okay, and it requires additional work before they become finished goods, meaning that work in progress is something that we have done partially, maybe 30% done, or maybe 50% done, 70% done. Okay, the more complex and lengthy the production process, the larger the investment in WIP inventory. Okay, why do we have work in progress inventory? Is to uncouple the various operations in the production process so that machine failures and work stoppages in one operation will not affect the other operation. So that is why we need work in progress inventory, so that if there are any machine failures at this stage, it will not affect the next stage of the production process.
Okay, so the next type of inventory is finished goods. Finished goods consist of goods on which the production has been completed but that are not yet sold. The purpose is to uncouple the production and sales function so that it is not necessarily to produce the goods before a sale can occur. And the sales can be made directly out of inventory.
There are 4 common techniques of inventory management, which are economic order quantity (EOQ) model, ABC system, just-in-time system, and material requirement planning system. Let's move on to the next slide, which is economic order quantity, known as EOQ. EOQ used to determine how much material quantity should be ordered. EOQ enables us to arrive at the order size that will minimize the total cost of stock, that is carrying cost and ordering cost. Ordering cost is cost to order the materials, such as transportation cost, cost of placing order, cost of follow-up, and cost of inspection and receiving deliveries. Handling cost is cost to store the materials, such as cost of storage space, insurance, and material handling cost. There are 3 assumptions under EOQ, which are demand is constant, unit price is constant, and carrying cost and holding costs are constant.
Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. I will be presenting about the ABC system. This ABC system is divided into 3 categories, which is A, B, and C. A category consists of items with highest value investment. A items are being verified daily by running perpetual inventory system. For B categories, it consists of next next largest investment in the inventory. It's monitored on weekly basis. Okay, so for C category, it consists of large number of items that require relatively small investment. It's monitored using two-bin method. Two-bin method is a system to determine when an item in production should be replenished. When item in first bin finished, the second bin is then supposed to have enough item to last until order for the first bin arrive.
Move on to another slide, just-in-time system. Just-in-time system is purchasing of the material when it's needed. It has been planned so that the work in progress and finished good are there when needed. Next is company need cooperation with the firm so that there will be decrease in production time. Next is eliminate of non-value activities, which is storage, inspection, waiting time. And then they will be affected, which is reduce the time. The last point in just-in-time system is reduce in manufacturing efficiency. So the company will be increase the profit and the production.
The next one is Material Requirement Planning System, or known as MRP system. It is to determine the type of materials to be purchased and when to order the materials. A simulation will be made to each product's bill of materials, inventory status, and also manufacturing process. The objective of this system is to lower the firm's inventory investment without excessive purchase affecting the production.
Next, we move on to the next slide, which is account receivable management. In the selling of goods and services, credit sales form a large portion of the sales of most firms. It is when the firm make credit sales to the customer, it will definitely increase their account receivable accounts. The importance of account receivable management is depend on the degree which the firm sells on credit to their customer. Other than that, account receivable comprise of 20% of the firm's asset. Meanwhile, the other 80% comprise of other assets. Besides, the account receivable management depends on the firm's decision either to give credit or not to their customer. Furthermore, the efficient management of account receivable will be to collect from debtors as soon as possible without losing their sales.
Size of investment in accounts receivables. First, percentage of credit sales to total sales. The nature of the business tends to determine the blend between credit sales and cash sales. A large grocery store tends to sell exclusively on a cash basis. Businesses that sell daily goods mostly use cash sales, whereas most construction lumber supply firms mix their sales primarily with credit. Suppliers usually offer credit sales to their customer. Therefore, construction lumber supply firms usually have larger amounts and percentage of account receivable compared with grocery store. Second, level of sales. The more sales, the greater the account receivable. The higher the sale you make, and this will increase your account receivables.
Next is credit and collection policy, a set of decisions that include a firm's credit periods, credit standards, collection procedure, and discount offer. Credit periods means which the length of time buyers are given to pay for their purchases, mean how long the buyers have to pay for their purchases. Next is credit standard, refer to the minimum financial strength of acceptable credit customer and the amount of credit available to different customer. The firm collection policy, which is measured by its stubbornness or laxity in following up on slow paying account. Any discount given for early payment, including the discount amount and period. So, this slide is about determinant of investment in account receivable. So, usually investment in account receivable is depends on the amount of AR. So, if the higher the sales, so that means the bigger or the higher the account receivable. So, investment in AR also depends on the credits and collection policy as already explained in the previous slide. So from the credits and collection policy, we will know about the length of time before credit sales are collected, and we will also know about the level of sales. As we know, sales is divided into two, which is credit sales and cash sales. So from the level of sale, we can determine the level of credit sales. Besides, credits and collection policy also can determine about the percentage of credit sales to the total sales. The credits and collection policy, level of sales, and percentage of credit sales to total sales, you can go to the previous slide as we already explained on the previous slide.
Okay, so basically term of sale is about we determine the possible discount, the discount period, and then the total credit period. Okay, basically this is the example given, which is 2/10 net 30. The 2 is the 2% discount given, and then over 10 is the 10 days, which means that the firm has to pay within the 10 days in order to get the 2% discount. And then net 30 is the 30 days total credit period, which is given. And then I think the next one is the formula.
Okay, so this is the formula for the discount. A represent the discount given itself, and C minus B equals to the what differences between the 30 days and also the 10 days period given. So this is the calculation, 2% over 100% minus 2%, and we multiply with 1 year over the differences between the 2 days, and it shows the answer of 36.73%.
Okay, the next one is type of customer. Okay, default cost vary directly with the quality of the customer. As the customer credit rating decline, the chance that the account will not be paid on time increase. Collection costs also increase as the quality of the customer decline. The decline in customer quality result in increased cost of credit investigation, collection, and default. So, one way in which both individual and firm are often evaluated as credit risk is through the use of credit scoring and the 5 CS system. So that's all. Thank you.
Okay, so we continue with the first techniques of credit selection, which is the 5C system. Okay, the first factor is character. Character refers to the probability that customers will try to honor their obligations. Experienced credit managers frequently insist that the moral factor is the most important issue in the credit evaluations, which means that if a borrower has a previous bankruptcy, their character is deemed less acceptable than a borrower with a clean credit history. Next, number 2, capacity. Capacity is the customer's abilities to pay. When the customer has the ability to pay, then the creditor will easily offer the credit. So the next, C is capital. Capital is measured by the general financial condition of a firm as indicated by an analysis of its financial statements. Capital. Creditor prefer a borrower with a lot of capital, which means that they have some skin in the game. And then for the fourth, C is collateral. Collateral is represented by assets that customer may offer as security in order to obtain credit. As a business may offer equipment or its account receivable. For individuals, they may pledge savings, vehicles, or their home. And then the last C is condition. Condition refers both to general economic trends and to special developments in certain geographic regions or sectors of the economy that might affect customers' ability to meet their obligations. Basically, creditors review strength or weakness of the overall economy and the purpose of the loan. Next, for the second techniques of credit selection, which is the credit scoring. This involves in the use of statistically derived weights representing key financial and credit characteristics that measure a customer's overall credit strength. The purpose of credit scoring is to make an informed credit decision quickly and cheaply. Basically, credit scoring is a statistical analysis performed by lenders and financial institutions to assess a person's credit worthiness. Credit scoring is used by lenders to help decide on whether to extend or deny the credit. A percent credit score is a number between 300 and 850. Basically and usually